morning, let me speak to you briefly on conditions for answer prayers. Conditions for answer prayers. Please take note. Number one, we serve a God who answers prayers. Look at what God said by himself. Call unto me and I will answer thee. Full stop. Call unto me and I will answer. May he answer you this month. If you read Psalm 65 verse 2. Psalm 65 verse 2. David speaking there. Prove to us. O thou that hearest prayer. Unto thee shall how many flesh? All flesh come to you. You that hear prayer, to you will all flesh come. So we have made it clear here that God answers what? Prayers. But take note, number two. God answers prayers at his time, not your time. He will answer you at what time? And that is time is the best for you. Yes, you may not feel it that way. He knows why. Let me tell you this. If you're a child of God, God can never mismanage your life. He answers prayer, correct. But he answers at his time. Look at what David said in Psalm 40 verse 1. Psalm 40 verse 1 and 2. I waited patiently for the Lord, and he inclined unto me and heard my cry. Go back to verse 1. David said what? I waited, and I asked myself. For David to wait means that God didn't answer him at the time that he prayed. If you're waiting for something, it means that thing didn't come when you expected it. I waited patiently for the Lord. Why am I waiting? Because answer never come. Why he never come? God will answer at his time. Period. But my part is to wait. I waited patiently for the Lord because he didn't answer me when I thought he would answer. But the fruit is that he will eventually answer me. That's why Job had to wait. That's why Abraham had to wait for 25 years for a child to come. And I can go on and on. That's why Joseph had to wait. Even when there was a prophecy on his head that he would be above his brothers, he had to wait for many years for that prophecy to come to pass. Let me say this to you. While you're waiting for God to answer you, it doesn't mean that God is wicked. It means that he knows more than you. It means that he sees tomorrow which you don't see tomorrow. It means that he has prepared a particular time to give you that miracle, which is the best time for you. Thou shalt arise and have mercy upon who shall? You are the Zion. For the time, meaning there's a time to favor Zion. For the time to favor. This time to favor Zion is set by God, not by Zion. Because if Zion is the one that will set the time, then God is no longer God. God will not allow you to be the one to set the time when he will favor you. If he does that, then he has relinquished his power to you. Then you are God, then he is you. He won't do that. Because he wants you to depend on him. He wants you to trust him. And many times, the reason why it's as if God is delaying is because God is hiding himself. He's hiding. So that by the time you're praying and seeking and looking for him, you think time is going. But God uses one stone to kill two birds. While you're looking for him, he using that period to work on your life. Say, no, I want it now. I want it. Say, no, calm down. Let me finish other areas of your life. It's like a woman who gave birth to a child and wants to feed the child with pap and made the pap, and the pap is very hot. And the baby is crying, give me the pap. Baby no say the pap the hot. All the baby want, give me. Mama said, no, I can't give you. If I give you this pap now, it will burn your tongue. Baby said, no. He said, calm down, I will not give you. Before the mother will give the pap, she will turn it to her, take some in the cup, even lick it first. Baby, I go eat it before I give you. Then begin to blow. When she feels is the right time. Oh, I hope you are catching the message. It is the mother that determines the time to give the baby, not the baby. God a mother blowing your miracle, waiting for the right time. This February, take it now. No matter how. So what are the conditions for me to get what I'm looking for? Understand that prayer is a means of God servicing your relationship with God. Prayer is primarily meant to service your relationship with God. In Mark 1:35, Jesus goes to pray just to be in tune and intact with the Father. So he goes to pray early in the morning. This prayer is to service his relationship with God, to keep it intact and in tune. Look at this scripture God showed me in Isaiah 50 verse 10. Who is among you that does what? Feareth the Lord. The first condition for prayer to be answered, fear of God. Who among you feareth the Lord? Of course, Joseph feared God. Eventually, he was promoted. Everyone that feared God, like Job, they got answer to their prayers. So fear God. What is the fear of God? To fear God is to depart from evil. Proverbs told us the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and to fear God is to depart from evil. Second condition is there. Among you that fear the Lord, that obey it. That's point 2. Obey it too. The voice of his servant. Second key to answer prayer, obey the voice of his servant. Of course, obey God, but God has a servant. Obey the voice of his servant. That is why Elisha told the woman, by this time next year you have a baby. Second Chronicle 20:20 says what? Believe the Lord your God, you shall be what? Established. Believe his prophets, you shall prosper. Obey the voice of his servant. Why? God confirms the words of his servant, performeth the counsel of his messengers. Can I say this to you? God is committed to what his servant says. That's why, like the testimony you heard about this glory, the word I spoke to her broke the limitation on her campus. I don't work there. I'm not the registrar. But the word I spoke here went there and compelled them to call. Why? Because God's servant spoke. God values the word of his servants. Okay, look at what happened in Egypt. God came down through his servant Moses. Am I right? Pharaoh, let my people do what? That is God's word through Moses. I won't let them go. And you will not do. And God said, okay, I will show you I am God. Aaron, drop your rod. Aaron dropped rod. Run, talk to snake. Pharaoh laughed. Moses, if it's only snake you can do, will be barber for snake for Egypt. If you look at the Egyptian logo, is snake. I will show you get plenty people who can bring snake. And he called his magicians and they dropped all their rods. It turned to snake. But God, now God. Before the eyes of Pharaoh, the rod of Moses began to swallow all the other rods. Kalabatasha. And swallowed all the rods and rendered Egypt rodless. And the Bible didn't tell us that they recovered that rod. That rod was lost forever. The Bible says Moses and the whole rod entered into one. That rod was a rod Moses used to part the Red Sea. Every devil on your way this February, they are going down for your sake. Hey! 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 Come on! Hey! 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 Shout fire! Take your seat. Look at the next line there before we begin to tie up. Obey the voice of his servant. That next one shocked me. That walketh in darkness and had no light. And I asked God, how can somebody do one, fear the Lord? 2, obey the voice of your servant, and yet the person is still walking in darkness and had no light? I've obeyed, I've feared God, I've obeyed his voice, yet I am still walking in darkness. Why? I thought when I fear you and I obey your servant, I should walk in light. He said, no. You've feared me. You've obeyed my servant. Before the real thing come, you will go through a process of dark period. And it's that dark moment that makes you feel God didn't answer you. And it's at that point, listen, that the devil take advantage of you and corner your mind and make you feel, I think you don't fear God, finish. Nothing happened. I think you don't obey the sound of it, nothing happens. You see, why don't you go to DPR? It's at that point he gets many of you. But from today, he won't get you. And he still walks in darkness and has no light. After he has obeyed the voice of God's servant and feared God. Why, sir? And I asked God, then what should the person do? Look at the next two lines. God said, that is what he's supposed to do. The answer will come. Next one there. God said, let him trust in the name of the Lord. That means even though he has feared me, obey my servant, and there is still darkness, let him do what next? Let him trust in my name. The songwriter said, trust and obey, for there's no other way. Oh my God, I have feared the Lord. I've obeyed his servant. I'm walking in darkness. To walk in darkness means there's no light. To have no light means you stumble and fall. He said, that's right. While you're doing that, trust me. Trust that I will bring you out of this situation. He said, son, remember Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. They believed me. Yea, they walk in darkness. They took them and trained them and put them in fire before I arrived, because they had a testimony that they trusted me. Somebody stand up and shout, I will trust. Daniel chapter 3. Can somebody say loud amen? 3:16 to 17. They trusted God. Though things were tough, they said our God will deliver us. Yet God allowed them to enter fire. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer you in this matter. 17. If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of your hand, O king. But do you know God did not? Because of time, go to verse 23. These three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Let's go ahead. Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste, spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast three men bound into the midst of fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said to them, lo, I see four men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like the Son of God. Go ahead. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, you servants of the Most High God, come forth, come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth out of the midst of the fire. Go ahead. And the princes, governors, and captains of kings being gathered together saw these men, upon whose bodies fire had no power. Therefore I make a decree that every people, nation, language, which speak anything against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after his sort. 30. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. The king made a proclamation, said, because they trusted in their God. The reason why they were delivered from fire is because they trusted. There are many of you looking at me, you can't trust. Small things, small money enter your hand, you don't respect anybody again. That is signature for failure. I speak to people and I speak under God. Don't ever allow pride enter your head. Come down and serve. Let's clap for Jesus. Do what? Come down and serve. The Bible said the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runs to it and they are saved. Don't play game with God. Don't be here and be here at the same time. Be one place. If your trust is in God, let it be God. If your faith is in God, let it be God. Let God and the devil know you have no other person but him. Let God, the devil, and you know that there's no other person you know except God. Are you hearing my voice? Let it be vital clear to you and to the devil and to everyone that no other God except God. As you see me, nothing can make me not to be in church. Nothing. No program, no devil, no family meeting. Of course, family can't even put a meeting on Sunday morning. They can't try it. But there are people that family meeting can push them from church. It means your family don't know who you are yet. If they know your devotion to God, they know you will not come. See, make your service to God clear. Let them know where you stand. Don't play double games. Let it be clear to everybody that this is where I stand. If you are putting meeting Sunday morning, you won't see me. Period. It's not irresponsibility. It's a sign that they know where you stand. Be known for something. Let's clap for Jesus. Life is a choice. And nobody should drive your life. Drive your life by yourself. Let your father, let your mother know where you stand. Let your children know where you stand too. Not that any small problem, your children, you start calling Dibia, oh, let's go and find out. Your children don't even know where you stand. Today you're carrying Bible, tomorrow you're going to Dibia. They don't know where you stand. They should know where their father stand. Let's clap for you. They should know. Wake up in the morning, they say, no, this is where my father stand. I know my father too well. He can't behave like that. Sir, that's why God commended Abraham. He said, I know Abraham, that he will command his children. That word command means God, he won't give them any option. Oh yeah, come on, go and bath and dress up. We are going to church. Not the father will say, you don't want to go today? No problem. Go and lie down. Next Sunday you go. Not Abraham. And not in this house. Do you know there are parents who will watch their son carry girlfriend to their house? There are parents who will watch their son carry their girlfriend to their house to sleep over. Does it happen? And they won't open mouth to rebuke their son. You can't open your mouth and tell us, hey, son, this is wrong. Don't do that. I didn't do that. You shouldn't do it. I'm here to correct you as your father. If you hear me, say yes. Don't do that. It's a wrong thing to do in this place. That's not how we are raised in this family. Don't try it next time. In fact, that girl, oh yeah, take your bag and do what? Leave now if you don't want fire to fall on you. Now so your papa they do. Now so my papa they do. Go. The same way you carry come, and as he's going, take broom, sweep up the sand. Let him know that he's not welcome in that place at all. Finally, I love the last point there. Let him trust in the Lord and stay upon his God. You know what it means? God said, after you have done all, stay. That means don't go anywhere. He answer you, he never answer you. Do what? Stay on your God. Look at it. Let him stay upon his God. Don't shake, don't move. Stay, because answer is coming. That's the point. After you have feared God, and after you have obeyed the voice of his servant, and there is still darkness, trust God and stay. Bible says, having done all, stand. Don't go anywhere. Stay. You know why he says stay? Because you know that help must come. He told them in Exodus 14:13, I'll be 14:13. He says, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which we will give you today. For the Egyptians that you see when today, you shall see them. That means the Egyptians are not permanent. The Egyptians are the problems. Look at me. You may see them today, tomorrow they disappear. No condition is what? Permanent. Next point is what? Fear not, stand still. That's what he said where I showed you. Say stay. Stand still. Don't move. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. The Egyptian whom you see today, you shall see them again no more. Somebody, God's time is here for you. And I lift my hand over you to announce to you that this same God you serve, the time for him to bless you has come. Stand up and shout, I receive.